pretty nice ultimate conditions for the players, for the spectators. Good to have long sleeves. Sam Canner will launch the opening pull. Walden Nelson sprinting down to cover the pull. We'll see who he matches up with. Gibson takes Montague, and a huge bid comes up empty from Alan Gilon. This is Matt Rader's first touch, and he'll shoot it long. Dylan Freechild, guarded by Bansfield. It's Freechild who's got it 2 yards shy of the goal line. It's always interesting, Ian, to see what the early matchups are going to be. Sockeye punches it in. Bryce Dixon, the final in Sarasota. Gibson then took his talents to Denver. It was ironic because he was living in Dallas, or he was living in Denver but playing with double wide, and then he got a job that moved him to Dallas, but he had already committed to playing with Bravo, so he kind of lived in one city and played in the other for many, many years. Played with Ironside for that 16 run, now with Machine as Montague sends it deep to Raider. Past the bidding Jeff Weiss, and a one throw Sockeye score. Hello, Matt.
His read with any body language, but great finish there by White.
Kurt Gibson on the field for this Machine deep point, launches the pull. Again, Nelson, the first white jersey down to guard the Sockeye handlers. Gibson's on Montague. Nelson has Kasednar. Alan Gilon back on Jannon. Nate Goff did such a good job on Jimmy Mickle yesterday. He's got Matt Rader today. Rader for Trent Dillon. Peter Graffy's there defensively. Back to Jannon. And now Freechild. Phil Murray, the only member of the Sockeye O-line who has not yet touched the disc on this point.
Who called what? Was it before the throw or during the motion? Did it before the throw or during the motion here?
I didn't hear it.
Okay, let's send it back then.
Yeah, I think we got to send it back.
Okay, it's coming back here then. Paul. Paul, let's see what happened here.
I just didn't think we got the high.
In on 6. All right, we got a foul contest in on 6.
Little urgency from Dillon as he finds Jannon. Good to have a handler who's that tall. Montague hauls it in.
And you see the switch between the defenders.
Murray shooting it. Trent Dillon. Kurt Gibson's been through a lot in his life. Diagnosed with cancer early in his club career. He beat that. Moved a lot for work. Obviously his friendship with Ultimate star Brody Smith, long time, well documented. They competed on the Amazing Race together, and they really should have won. They got kind of screwed late in that show. Jacob Jannon unable to haul in Simon Montague's. Bansfield dropped it. Not an easy grab by any means, but one that he certainly would expect himself to come up with.
And look at how quickly Sockeye is attacking right after the turnover. Just resetting and starting to push the pace. A deliberate effort by this O-line to not let the Machine defense settle in, but it looks like their assignments have caught up here as the stall count has gotten higher.
Where you said 7? And then you said 7? You said 7. I heard 7 fast count. That's what I heard it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Coming in on 7. 7. Coming, stalling 7.
Montague gets the reset to Dixon. Seattle Sockeye has been #1 atop the rankings pretty much all year long. You'd think for their confidence if they could get one break before halftime.
Those are the momentum builders that you can talk about in the halftime huddle that give you that palpable energy boost. And we see a top-notch D-line here from Chicago Machine.
Low throw from Montague, but Rader able to dig it out. And a high throw, but Dillon leaps for it successfully. Montague's got Rader going deep. Chicago switches, so Seth Weaver's on Rader downfield now. Jannon back to Montague. Simon was a standout handler at Carleton. Product of the Seattle scene. Deep shot. Jannon beating Bansfield to the spot. Sockeye takes half. Alan Gilon with Bansfield, Nelson, Goff, Gibson, Canner, and Schock. Offensively, Sockeye counters with Montague, Murray, Quizon Tice, Freechild, Rader, Trent Dillon, and Bryce Dixon.
You can see this Machine defense just intending to make Sockeye think twice before they release any throw. Two defenders up front. The next level, almost a three-person wall. And then two defenders splitting that deep space between them.
And credit to Sockeye. They seem pretty impervious to the defense in the sense that they're very content to be patient, although Bansfield...
Respect
right.
that exists between those
100%.
programs and their alums.
No animosity or frustration whatsoever. Alrighty, Chicago has shown it can break Sockeye once. Can it do it again? This pull is going to be inbounds. Kasednar centers for Montague. Continues for Murray. And you noticed any lingering effects of the injury for Dylan Freechild?
Nothing that's jumped off the screen to me. If we're talking about injuries, the other thought that I had was kind of how impressed I've been with Kurt Gibson and his ability to get back up to full fitness in such a short period of time.
Yeah, that's a great point.
You know, he dealt with shoulder and upper body injuries for so much of the regular season.
Well, he tore one of his labrums last year at Nationals and then tore the other one skiing this past February. Rader bluffs the big backhand. The crowd wanted it.
He didn't start running again until about July.
He's got a way of getting himself in great shape. I mean, he played every point in college late in his career. Stoppage. Let's check in with Megan down on the sidelines. How's the wind feel right now, Eagles?
You know, it is a consistent gust, so it's its presence, it's made itself known to the players for sure. And it is just a little bit chilly. I have to imagine those running around don't mind it too much, but it is, I think, just a little bit cooler than I would say it's totally comfortable.
Megan, if you needed to do 40s up and down the sideline to stay warm, we'd understand.
Oh, thanks for giving me permission.
Well, it's nicer weather still. than these teams were able to practice in leading up to this national championship. We heard stories of other teams dealing with rain-soaked fields that weren't permitting them to practice and having to cut practices short. And at that point in the year, you just kind of got to trust all the work you've put in up until that point.
It's the reality of the month of October, especially late October in the Northeast and Midwest and Pacific Northwest. Imagine the SoCal Condors didn't have a problem with the weather during their practices leading up to nationals. Murray absorbs the bump from Bansfield, dishes for Montague. Oh, nice find from Simon Montague. Jacob Janin. Back to Murray. Montague.
This is exactly where Machine wants to pin this Sockeye offense. Coach Andy Nielsen before the game saying he wanted to do everything he could to limit the space that Sockeye throwers have. Trap them in a small space. And the closer they get to that flick sideline, the closer they get to putting those throwers in that most challenging position. But a throw like that from Freechild really breaks things open.
Very narrow window, but Dylan Freechild got it through to Rader right as the Chicago crowd crescendoed, trying to implore the Machine defenders to get a block. (9-6) Sockeye for the moment. Largest lead for Seattle has been 5. It was after the first score in the second half. Last 2 goals have come from the 6-seed Chicago Machine. Montague to space for Janin. Gibson hustles over, sets the mark. Murray to the back of the end zone for Dylan. The difference remains 4, however, which is still pretty steep considering Sockeye is just 4 goals away from a title. Seattle on offense. It's Quezon Tice, Dylan, Rader, Dixon, and Freechild downfield with Montague and Murray set to handle, and Montague will begin from the brick. Low throw, incomplete, and I believe Graffy. As for Sockey's personnel changes, don't believe there are any. Same 7 out there. Rader, Freechild, Quezon Tice, Dylan, Dixon, Murray, Montague. Dixon for Dylan. Looks just like hard matchup defense here from Machine. Squeezing it through, Quezon Tice. He's taken off deep. Coming underneath Freechild. Dylan. Oh, Murray could. A year ago, Pony destroyed Revolver in the men's final. This year, 2 new participants. And Chicago, we're down 9-4. Looked like they might get destroyed down the stretch, but they have made a run. And now the pressure on Sakai. Sednar a little shaky and he throws it away. Alan Gilon picked 2 fewer turnovers for the game than Machine. And Chicago still has work to do. But look at the difference in break chances. Chicago capitalizing on every chance here in the second half. Sam Canner launches the pull for Machine. Bryce Dixon swats it down, dishes for Montague. Zone defense, it appears, at least initially. Poaching in the handler set, now matching up downfield. Goff's on Raider. Dixon the open man. The wind whistles here in San Diego. One of the signs just got blown over in the distance off to our right. Puts perspective how tight these throwers have to be with a 175 grams of plastic, a true 50-50, and Nate Goff eats it up. Raider may have called a foul. The crowd thinks this should be Chicago's disc. What'd you see, Ian?
We having fun?
I think there's enough time for us to respond.
Weaver body to body with Raider.
Ooh. Ooh. You know,
Come on. So we've got a foul contest, yeah? You're going to choose to come to the observer or no?
Yeah, let's go to the observer.
Okay. Observer ruling, you were pushing him in the back, okay? With a chance to make a play. All right, so it's going to be here. All right, we're going to start with a check at the spot of the foul and then bring it to the front end zone line. No, hey, you don't know that. You don't know that.
Weaver arguing that it was uncatchable, but with Matt Raider, I think he certainly could have made a play on that disc. And it was really an unnecessary foul the way that disc was angled in to Goff.
yeah, and Weaver's contact was more than just trying to box out and get his hips down in that low space.
Chicago has possession anyway.
Marching downwind.
Ian, aside from 0-0, this game has never been tied. Sakai went up 2-zip. That's near the sideline and out of bounds. Goff had his foot on the line as he extended. And Sakai turns. There 2 or 3 points left in this contest. Kurt Gibson bidding for an absurd 4 titles with 4 teams this decade. Double wide, Bravo, Ironside, and now Machine. The journeyman has brought his veteran experience wherever he's been. Andy Nielsen was telling me before the game how important that has been. Talked about Kurt's incredible leadership. Deep shot for Dillon with 3 Machine defenders, and Goff went up high for the block.
I mean, when have we seen Bright?
For Canner, he'll rip it. Bansfield versus Dixon. White and Dillon join the party, and no one can make the clean catch at Sakai's disc.
Machine unable to connect on the deep look. Disc over to Sakai.
Once again, we're seeing how tough these upwind hucks can be. As Bansfield had some separation at the moment Canner released it, but that throw hanging long enough to let several Sakai defenders and another Machine receiver converge on that disc. Not what Canner wanted at the moment of release.
Another low throw from Dixon, but sliding Freechild makes the play. Simon Montague's downfield. Dixon's the center handler right now. Here's Rader. It has been a long scoring drought for Seattle Sockeye. Could it end here? Yes! Dixon connects with, and Phil Murray. As a fan, this is all you could ask for as Gibson pulls on Universe. Jannon underneath. Marked by Weaver. Low throw, but Murray's there. And across midfield for Russell.
Ooh, and Montague and Gibson getting tangled up there. Gibson not contesting the foul. I think as Montague was planting and pivoting and trying to change direction, Gibson's hand got Montague in the face.
Perhaps a violation on the restart. To Rader. Here's Freechild. And another stoppage. A pick downfield. Ian, regardless how this one ends, it is a privilege to be here for moments like this. Seattle Sockeye looking for its first title since 2007. Chicago Machine looking for its first title ever. Stall count rising, Rader gets free. Back to Freechild. And into the end zone, Jacob Jannon. Seattle Sockeye has won the national title in 2019, surviving the valiant comeback effort from Machine. And in a weekend where Rhino made such an impact on the men's division, a couple former Rhino standouts, Dylan Freechild and Jacob Jannon, collaborate for the championship clincher.
This offense excelling on the final point at that quick disc movement, giving and going. That's what Dylan Freechild's been known for his entire career. Since his days at South Eugene High School, his days with Oregon Ego, and now he has a club championship to add to his resume.
Wow, what a wild game this was. Sockeye jumped out 6-2, built the lead up to 5 in the second half. It was 11-6, and then Machine ran off 5 in a row. Remember, Machine had the disc with a chance to take the lead. But the deep shot looking for Bansfield got caught up in the wind. Sockeye went down and scored to go up 12-11. Yitting Howe tied it at 12, and then Freechild to Jannon to close it out. A memorable men's final here in San Diego, won by Seattle Sockeye. This program wins its 4th national championship, its first in a dozen years. Anything is possible. We'll be back.